All right, let's talk about something that's been sitting in the back of my mind since the confetti stopped falling. The Knicks are champions. 53 years. 53 years we waited for this. And I still get chills saying it out loud. Jalen Brunson brought a title back to Madison Square Garden. And no matter what happens from here, that banner's going up, and nobody can ever take that away from us. But here's the thing nobody wants to talk about right now while we're still riding the high. Winning it once is the easy part compared to what comes next. And I say that as someone who has watched this franchise blow chance after chance for over 2 decades. We finally got here. Now we have to prove it wasn't fluke. Before I get into this, if you're a real Knicks fan, smash that like button right now. I mean it. This channel lives and dies by people like you showing up every single day. And I want to know I'm not just yelling into the void here. Drop a comment too. Tell me if you actually think we can go back to back, because I got some thoughts and I want to hear yours. So here's my angle. If Jalen Brunson wants to do something almost nobody in modern NBA history has done, he doesn't need a new playbook. He needs to go watch old film of one guy, Stephen Curry. Now stay with me, because I know what you're thinking. Steph Curry and Jalen Brunson are nothing alike stylistically. One's a movement shooter who bends defenses from 30 feet. The other's a bully ball, mid-range assassin who gets to spots and just cooks you slow. Totally different games. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what happened in Curry's head between his first championship and his second one. Because think about the era we're in right now. Since 2018, when Golden State repeated, not one single team has gone back-to-back. Not the Bucks, not the Nuggets, not the Celtics, who looked absolutely stacked. Nobody. 8 straight years of a different champion every single time. That's not a coincidence. That's the league telling you something. The talent gap between the top and the middle of the NBA has basically disappeared. Every roster's got shooters. Every roster's got a switchable wing. Every team's got a coaching staff running 5 different coverages a night. The margin for error is razor thin. And honestly, that should terrify us a little bit. Because the Knicks didn't win this thing by accident. But we also know how this league chews teams up. We already know we might lose pieces off this roster. We already know Leon Rose is going to have some brutal cap decisions to make this summer. That's the same storm Golden State walked into after their first title with that young core. They lost a role player here, a piece there, and they still found a way to run it back. So how did Curry do it? Because I think this is the actual blueprint, not the XS and OS, the mentality. When Curry won his second ring in that stretch, he wasn't a young guy chasing his first taste of glory anymore. He'd already been there. He already knew what it felt like to hoist a trophy, and that changes how you play. It stops being about proving something to the world and starts being about protecting something you already built. That's a completely different mental gear, and it's one Jalen Brunson has literally never had to shift into before in his career. None of these Knicks have. Everybody in the league is going to circle New York on their calendar now. Every home crowd on the road is going to be louder for that game. Every opposing star is going to want that highlight of beating the champs. That target on your back is real. It wears on guys who aren't ready for it mentally. Curry handled that target for years. He treated every single regular season game like it mattered, even the ones that objectively didn't, because he understood that habits built in November are what save you in May. That's what I want to see from Brunson. Not just staying aggressive in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. We already know he can do that. We watched him do it all postseason. I want to see him drag this locker room through an 82-game grind without letting them get complacent, because complacency is what kills defending champs. It's not always the other team getting better. Sometimes it's just you, forgetting how hungry you used to be. And look, I'm not saying go trade for Draymond Green, or go find a Klay Thompson clone. That's not the lesson here. Curry had help, obviously. Durant, Klay, Draymond. That's an all-time core. But this Knicks roster has its own version of that. We've got the pieces. What we need is the psychology. The refusal to let one single night feel like just another game. Real talk, though, and I want you to comment your honest opinion on this. Do you think this current Knicks core even has that gear in them? Because I go back and forth. Some nights I watch this team, and I see guys who play with a chip on their shoulder every single possession. Other nights, I worry we're going to come out of the gate a little too satisfied, a little too comfortable, and some hungrier team is going to knock us out in the second round before we even realize we're not the same team from June. That's the part that keeps me up at night as a fan. Not the opponent. Us. Whether we can be our own biggest obstacle. If Curry taught us anything, it's that the second championship is won in the boring months. It's won in a random Tuesday game in January against a team 10 games under 500, when it would be so easy to coast. It's won in practice, in film sessions, in the way a star treats his role players when the cameras aren't rolling. Brunson has shown flashes of that leadership already. Don't get me wrong. The way this team rallied around him all year proves he's got real respect in that locker room. But respect during a championship chase and respect while defending a title are two completely different tests. So here's what I'm watching for going into next season. I'm watching how Brunson talks about the target on their back. I'm watching whether this team treats the regular season like a formality or like a proving ground. And I'm watching whether ownership gives him the pieces he needs to actually have a shot. Because let's be honest, a big part of this is out of his hands. I genuinely believe this group has what it takes. I really do. But belief isn't the same as guaranteed. And this league has humble, prouder franchises than ours before. Before you go, I need you to do 3 things for me. Like this video if you want to see more honest, no-filter breakdowns like this one. Comment below and tell me who you think is the bigger threat to a Knicks repeat. Is it a team in the East, or is it us beating ourselves? And if you haven't already, get subscribed and turn on notifications. Because this offseason is going to be an absolute roller coaster news, and I don't want you missing a single update. This is the most exciting era to be a Knicks fan in half a century. Let's not waste it. Let's go back to back.